always follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
And we are loaded to the gills today on this program. Thanks for checking in, watching on YouTube TV, listening on Sirius XM channel 158, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, or any of our great affiliates. Mike Palm on the program coming up in 15 minutes. Hardcore World Cup with him. Observations, bets to make, hydration break, all of it. Live betting. Doug Kazarian. Is this the biggest card in the WNBA the entire season?
Looks so like that.
6 games tonight. Some good ones. We'll get his best bets at that time. And we'll keep you up to date on this, bonkers here going on right now in Dallas. England and Croatia knotted up at 2 goals apiece. I have plenty of bets now, Paulie, on the U.S. Open. Where are you sitting? Handful? Couple?
Yeah, just, following Wes and Jeff, it's been the same stuff. I'm with them on Schauffele. Fitzpatrick's popular. Hopefully these guys aren't too popular.
But my one concern.
It's going to be big. I think jumping in play is a way to attack it because they can say interesting comments today from the chief championships officer. We could brutalize this place over the next few days if we wanted to, but that's not what we're about. We want to make it fair. Well, 2004, these guys lost their minds. Mm-hmm. They were screaming, get the hose out, water the green, come on. Mickelson went crazy. In 2004, 28 golfers couldn't break 80 on Sunday. The average score was 78. Mickelson swatted his ball, moving out of frustration on the 13th green and took the 2-stroke penalty in 2018. They said, and the USGA said they learned a great deal from 2018 to ease the tough playing conditions. Instead of trying to say, okay, well, 2 over, 1 over is going to win it like Koepka did. So that remains to be seen. But then again, if the weather gets involved and what this could look like, who knows? Maybe it turns out to be an easier U.S. Open and what this looks like. But, again, Schauffele very popular. Fitzpatrick popular. Henley popular. Hatton popular. I don't have a problem with Tommy either, who finished right there with Koepka in 2018. But maybe one for a surprise here with how this could play.
Yeah, I'm on X-Man, and I've had my bankroll set on fire multiple times by backing Xander Schauffele. That's okay. That's going to happen when you bet golf. You're going to lose a lot of bets when it comes to like outrights. But I played top 10 plus 205 here at Circa. I played top 20 around minus 120. 6 U.S. Open top 10 finishes in his career. He's never been outside the top 20 in 9 starts. In fact, he's been top 15 in all 9 of his U.S. Open starts. He's played in 36 majors. He's had 19 top 10s, pretty strong. In 2018, Shinnecock, he finished 6th, and he's a very good scrambler as well. So the wind, we think, could be a problem. I know we talked to Jeff Seeley earlier, and he said maybe there's a little bit of an overreaction with some of these matchups. But here is Xander Schauffele talking about how the wind could impact the tournament this weekend.
It's a pretty golf course, the heather really, with the wind blowing, you see that heather sort of laying down on certain holes and, making the course almost look alive. So, generous for the USGA to sort of make the fairways a little bit wider for us with this insane wind coming in. And it's going to be tough. I mean, making birdies, I've played 27 holes now on Monday and Tuesday, and I've only made a few birdies. So it seems like it's gettable because the greens are a little bit softer than you'd anticipate at a major championship, but if they weren't, it would be unplayable. So far, I think the USGA is doing a nice job of making it realistic and making it playable and keeping that sort of US Open feel to it. So greens will be firm but slow, I think, and the wind will be blowing, and it's going to be, a US Open test.
Did he basically just say, look, the course is absolutely impossible, but the USGA is actually making it kind of fair? Is that what I heard from him?
Yeah.
It's kind of the way it sounded.
Yeah. Koepka kind of said the same thing too. The golf course is definitely a lot softer, but different than what I remember in terms of firmness. They can do what they want. But let's see if they change it. And certainly the weather's going to be the story, and also what could happen on Thursday to start. I mean, if you're talking 30, 35 mile per hour winds.
Oh, sure. Game changer.
Yes.
Some more audio here. Steve Sands does a great job on the Golf Channel. He's also a frequent guest with Tim Murray and Matt Youmans on VSiN Primetime. Love listening to him talk about these individual tournaments and the majors. here is his take on what to expect maybe from the first round and what the forecast could have in store.
The early, late. So in golf, for those of you who are not familiar with it out there, early, late, or late, early, just to even things out the first 36 holes. Then the cut is made and they go after it the next 36 holes on the weekend. So you're playing early, late this week. It looks like if the forecast holds, that'll be a massive advantage to the guys who are playing late, early. So you have Rory McIlroy and Scotty Scheffler playing early. Normally, you would never see those two players, the best players in the world, playing in the same wave. One of them would play late, one of them will play early, and then switch them on Friday. In this case, they're both playing early, and I think that's a huge advantage, not only to those guys, but the morning wave on Thursday, which means they'll play the afternoon on Friday, Matt, is a very big deal, especially if the forecast right now holds the way it is.
Okay, so he's very strong on it then. And I know one very good golf bettor here in town who told me, I think it was yesterday morning, that he played matchups accordingly that he could find. And he was targeting the guys that would have an advantage when they were out there on the course, not having to deal with the heavy winds compared to guys who are going to be out there a little bit later on. And he laid some juice with that, but that again was like books adjusting and maybe getting out in front of that. But he was like, nah, I don't care. The wind's going to be too strong here.
Did you play Goddard, the Jersey guy?
Boy, I really want to play him.
45-1, not bad. I'm not hearing any more Kawa.
None. Nothing DeChambeau.
No DeChambeau. People aren't betting him either. He's 35-1.
We're hearing all Henley, all Hatton, and the guys below them. I mean, everybody's been on Fleetwood and Fitzpatrick.
Yes.
And some have been on Xander. That's the guy. And I did play Fitzpatrick at top 20 at even money.
Jeff Sherman mentioned he took Hovland at a big price when he was playing well over the weekend. He's down to 60-1. Cantlay's 55-1. And JT is 60-1. Justin Rose, who seems to be in the mix all the time, 75-1, but he has not played well. 5 of the last 6 U.S. Opens, he's missed the cut.
Yeah, not good there. And also, no, he's been a little bit better, but you want to kind of fade a guy when he's going to switch the clubs up, which is what he did. And now that's been, a few events in the bag now, so to speak. So it should be getting better, but that course history, or I should say tournament history, not exactly great out of him. I can't get on board with Henley. I know Jeff was making the case earlier. That's another guy. I bet him every time last year, came up short. Hatton's intriguing. I can buy in Hatton for sure.
Yeah.
And I already have a future on Reed. Paul Stone gave him out last week, bet that. And also I took this number's not there anymore, but I will put out there for just full disclosure. I have some Maverick McNeely at 105-1.
All right.
I'm also thinking about maybe a little on Gary Woodland.
Okay.
Who won the U.S. Open at Pebble Beach a handful of years ago. And I know that he's been hammering the ball with the driver this week, preparing for tomorrow's first round action. Another one, you want to buy into the narrative and the overall storyline? How about Scotty? And he could have been had at as high as 6-1. Biggest number on him in a long time. More Steve Sands here talking about the weekend here. What a weekend this could be for Scotty Scheffler.
It's hard to pick against Scotty playing well, but I think that Sunday is Father's Day. He just became a father for the second time. Sunday is his birthday, and it also is a chance for him to win the career Grand Slam. And that just happened last year.
Yep.
And those kinds of things don't happen every year. And I just don't think this is going to be Scotty's week. But more than all that kind of mojo, if you will, like you said, Matty, I don't think he's playing his best. Now, he can get away with not playing his best and still put himself in contention. However, at majors, you've got to bring your game to a major. You don't find your game. And right now, I don't think he's quite razor sharp. So I would leave Scotty off of my slate.
Okay. Well, making a good case there with the whole storyline possibility. Birthday and Father's Day on the same day. And it could complete the career Grand Slam. Good point, though. You don't find your game at like the U.S. Open.
Are you disappointed in their comments that they learned a lot from the last time? I mean, it's not like, 1 over. It's not egregious, is it?
No, I don't think it is.
For that to be the winning score?
That's how I want it to play out.
Yes, that's what most people want to see that too. They like it when they struggle.
Sure.
So I guess I'm taken aback by some of the comments.
Also, what do you make of the projected cut number that you can bet on? Jeff was telling us, Jeff Seeley, he mentioned that he found like 6 over as the cut.
Ooh.
Is that really going to be the cut number, or are we talking about 7, 8, 9? Because I think it's everybody again talking about how difficult this course is going to be. And if the wind is a factor, I think that number, it could be very ugly making the cut. Yeah. You might be sitting there at 9, 10 over and being like, yeah, I lucked into the weekend. Here I am playing. I also have, Cam Smith, top 40.
Yeah.
Plus 150. Loved what I saw out of him at the PGA. Took a little bit on him at 100 to 1 to win the entire thing as well. And great where it's going to matter most around the green for this tournament. And I think that's pretty much all I have for the bets at this point.
Jump in tomorrow. Jump in Friday too. You know, why not?
Well, another thing,
get better prices, and then maybe you get someone to come back from a good distance.
There's another strike by England. Holy, what? That took him less than a minute.
Oh man,
it was a great run, and 3-2 now.
What do we got now? 6.5. What?
It's got to be. I mean,
6.5. The total under minus 130.
Wow, that was way too easy.
This is outrageous.
The second half just began.
Who was it?
Bellingham, I believe.
Okay, yes.
Mike Palm next. Hardcore World Cup. We'll get his thoughts on this match. Hydration breaks. Early look at Argentina, Austria next Monday as well. All coming up here on VSiN.
So you're listening to this podcast because you want an edge. But what if I told you you're only halfway there? You've got the mindset. Now it's time to get the toolkit to match. Here's the thing. Pro bettors spend thousands on data and tools, but what they don't want you to know is you can get the same edge for a fraction of the cost with VSiN Pro. With VSiN Pro, you get access to expert picks, public betting data, prop projections, powerful tools, analytics, and more. Tap the link in the description and see why thousands of bettors are already using VSiN Pro to cash more bets.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Time now to get the thoughts from lifelong soccer nut, Mike Palm, the VP of Circa Las Vegas, as he joins us here for his weekly hit on a Wednesday, right? I mean, you grew up kicking the ball, basically.
No. Cashing tickets is what it's all about.
When they built the new soccer stadiums, I was probably 10 or 11 at the time. Mm-hmm. And we were still playing on the old Holy Ghost baseball. He wrote a letter to the editor of the Telegraph Herald, the shortest letter ever published. It said, why do more people in the world play soccer than any other sport? And then he wrote, answer, so they don't have to watch it. That was his attempt to stop the spread of soccer and the destruction of America. No, it was this pandemic that forced me to fall in love with soccer.
Bundesliga.
You know, you're 3 points behind in that Russian ping pong. I would not take the bait, but here came back this Bundesliga, right? Playing in front of, and I said, hey, I better study this. Maybe we'll never come out of pandemic.
True.
I never had money. I never had money on an app ever. You did the drive up app, right? Where you went and deposited the cash that forced everybody to change their whole way of living.
You'd always walk down the street.
I had cash. I had a lot of cash. Poker game or make a bet.
That's right. Yeah. We just met someone from Chicago last week, and it was he commented about Ronnie Palm and being from Chicago. He always thinks of the 1984 story. I needed a couple days to myself. We all did, he said, after the Cubs blew it.
We all might need a couple of days to ourselves if we keep watching this Cubs team. Have you watched this team? Boy, are they bad.
Yeah, they're terrible.
They're the definition of average, right?
Yes.
You realize that Dansby Swanson has the lowest batting average of any Cub position player since 1900? Like there's two guys in the 1800s that hit below 170.
Where's he at? I mean, Machado gets so much attention for his 177
Nobody says anything about Dansby Swanson. He's lost at the plate. And you're hitting Bregman second. He's around. I mean, they're bad. I know they lost a lot of pitching. They had injuries, but who do you fear in this lineup right now?
Okay, so now you have grown to love it, soccer, like you talked about. Are you loving this match? 3-2 England in the 53rd minute?
Look, I told you guys when I was on last week, there were two matches in the first round of pool play that I loved the under. And it was Ecuador, which was 0-0 to the 90th minute, and it stayed under. I had that under 1.5 at a play. In this game, because England hasn't conceded a goal in 2 years. I called them Arsenal with Harry Kane.
Oh, wait a second. Ecuador was the match that had 4 posts that were hit, though.
They did hit 4, and then they got beat by the Ivory Coast. They scored in the 90th minute. I got Ecuador advancing out of the group. I said, well, at least I'm going to get 1 point, and here comes the Ivory Coast. Everybody that, and you watch Premier League, and Mitch even too, complains about the Arsenalification, if you will, of what's becoming the Premier League. It's all just set pieces and defending. And they compared that incredible Champions League semifinal between Bayern and PSG, that wide open 5-4 game with this Sporting Lisbon Arsenal and that style of play. Pep's gone, Jurgen Klopp retired, everybody, and you get Tuchel in to run the national team. There's no reason for me to think at all that this game wasn't going to be 1-0 or maybe 2-0. This is amazing to me that we're sitting at 3-2 just out of second half. But can I make a bigger point?
Sure, of course,
about
yes.
So I didn't really talk on air a lot about this. I talked to you guys a little bit about how I helped coach my stepdaughter's volleyball, and then I coached. They had an undefeated season, right? This is 3rd and 4th grade. So then they came to me, the school, Doral, which is a magnet school, came to me and they said, listen, we haven't had a varsity girls soccer team. Now, this is K through 8, so you're talking 6th, 7th, 8th. In 3 years, nobody will go out. They don't want to go. They don't want the athletic director to be the coach. They don't like the guy. Would you coach the team and at least say you're going to coach in tryouts, and we'll get you a teacher to help, but at least we'll try to have a team? I said, well, they haven't had a team in 3 years. They're going to be pretty far behind in this league, right? Anyhow, 32 girls tried out. We had a team, and it was okay. We went like 3-3-2 or something. We just missed the playoffs. You know how hard it is to coach this soccer? It is so hard because the field, what can you do during the game? You're screaming. It's windy. No one can hear. It's windy. These girls are 8 miles across the pitch, right? It's very hard to coach this sport. They've changed the whole thing now with these 3-minute hydration breaks. They're out there with their iPads. They're totally regrouping, and the coaches are changing tactics. You guys know they'd always say the team needs to get to half and reevaluate, and now you get it twice a half. And I firmly believe that it's really hard to bet unders. Mm-hmm. Do you see the momentum changes out of these hydration breaks? The scoring, I don't know. It's anecdotally for me. You'd have to go back and look. But you can bet goal in the next 10, goal in the next 50. I would think betting goal in the next 15 out of these hydration breaks is pretty profitable right now.
I'm going to give up if Ghana, Panama goes over 2.5.
I just couldn't lay $1.80 on the under, right?
Yeah,
but
under 1.5? Under 2?
2.5.
I can't. I want no part. I want no part of this. I bet first half draw. -104 here because I think it's going to be 0-0. But I don't want to get stuck into laying juice with this tournament's wide open. I finally give up on it. I said to my friend, he sends me your picks every day. So I sat there Sunday night and I sent to him, I said, or on Monday night after the 4 draws, I said, I cannot make an argument for the under in any game on Tuesday. So I'm just going to play 4 overs and parlay the 4 favorites. Well, somehow I got there, right? I mean, it looked like France was a dead under, 0-0 at half. I think another thing to look at is how flat these first halves are. If this is too early with their body clocks or whatever, the first halves have very little action to them, right? So anyhow, and then the goal that got taken down against Austria, that's what I needed both ways. I needed Austria to win to hit the parlay and then 2-1 to get the over 2.5. But I don't know that outside of Ecuador, if I'm very confident betting any unders.
I got to tell you right now, we're going to get England has had, while you were talking, they've had like 6 chances to score again. And somehow the Croatian keeper is like standing on his head now.
Yeah, they're all shots on goal too. Here's another one.
That meanwhile, you'll get a very nice price on over 6.5 right now to get 2 more goals, right? Yeah. I mean,
you want to bet Harry Kane to have a hat trick? He's got 2 already.
Well, and they don't want to mark him on set pieces. So that's...
But then he also, let's run it back. He missed the first one, but the goalie moved a little early, so let's give him a second chance here at the PK.
Other than the penalty last night, which I thought was debatable, I think they've done a very good job of fishing. They're not going for all the diving.
Not a lot of complaining, by the way.
And I don't think there was any controversial penalties, really controversial. Every penalty that's been given has been very obvious. I thought the handball last night was harsh. He had his hand by his side. I get it. But, I mean, what are you supposed to do? It hits your arm, it deflected twice, and I get you're an offensive player. I thought the commentators were right. Bad on the VAR to even make him go over and look. Just move on with the play.
I had Jordan plus 1.5.
Oh, the penalty at 90 plus 8?
That one, and then the match is over as soon as he scored. The match is over, and then the own goal around the 75th minute, too. on the corner, I believe.
Yeah, it was on the corner.
Yeah.
Off its back.
Yeah, off the back.
Off the back of the defender.
So anything tonight, though, that you... is there a side that you like tonight?
I think Columbia first half. I don't like laying unless I'm going to parlay these minus 250s. I think you can get these teams at like minus 110 first half. And if they're the better team, they ought to come out and score in the first half. Mm-hmm. Right? And I don't mind Columbia to win to nil either. They're always very well supported in this tournament. They have so many fans in every city. That was one of the big groups when we had Copa here. We had so many Columbia fans.
Yes. Don't you think it's a gotta have it for Swiss in Canada tomorrow? Now, Canada's a bigger price, but Swiss about $1.80, or do you want to lay 1.5 with Canada after they both had bad performances the first time out?
Very disappointed in Canada. Uh-huh. They need to come out and they need to win by margin here against Qatar, don't they?
Yes.
They have to. Because they're trying to bid a third place and they may have to get it with 3 points and margin.
Yep.
That's the whole thing. So I think the laying 1.5 with Canada is the way to go tomorrow.
Okay.
That's just dreadful. Bosnia is awful.
Terrible.
And they drew with them in Toronto.
Well, I mean,
that's what I was told.
Yeah.
I was told Bosnia was terrible.
They're awful.
Yeah, if Bosnia is terrible.
They are awful.
Yep.
What about the angle that Canada absolutely stinks?
Well, but they might.
Could.
They might, but and then you got this Qatar team that shocked the world with the last minute draw too.
Best two teams or best matchup you've watched so far.
Paul makes a good. I thought Morocco, Brazil are two teams that can both make the semifinals or final. I don't know what their path is going to be depending on the group there, but probably they won't meet again until late. But I thought that was a really well played game. Very, very well played. Morocco's a real deal.
Oh, yes. Yes, they are.
And when you look at teams that they beat all these teams, these African teams are pretty good.
Yes, they are.
If you can find a finisher on these African teams, they're dangerous because they'll outrun you. They're never going to get out sprinted back. So I thought that was great. Paul makes a point. I mean, I bet under in the Netherlands game because I have Netherlands futures. 0-0 at half. I'm feeling pretty confident, huh, Paul? 4 goals in the second half, and Japan equalizes in the 89th minute. Wild second half there.
That was a great match. Phenomenal second half.
I'm really looking forward to on Monday, I think it's in Dallas, this Austria. You saw how they did. They play this Gegenpress. They have under Ralph Ranking, who's the German. All they want to do, they want you to have the ball so they can steal it, right? That's their whole thing. Like against Jordan, they don't want to have the ball. They're not great trying to progress. They want to steal it. They're always pressing. They're going to press Argentina. That game's going to be wide open on Monday.
You are correct. That is Dallas, and it's the first match.
Yeah, I think that's going to be an awesome game.
Okay. Well, is it 2.5 juiced? How much?
Yeah. It'll be 2.5, but it probably is going to be 135 or 140 to the over. I love that game over.
I love it over. Okay.
I might ladder, as they say in the baseball terms. Ladder.
Play some outs there. Yeah. How high would you go? Over 3.5?
4.5.
Over 4.5.
It's going to be wide open. Messi's going to get plenty of chances. They will never stop pressing. That's just the way they play.
Did Argentina look great last night, or was Algeria in awe of Messi?
I think more of the latter. The first goal was great. The next two goals, I put on Algeria.
The second one was soft.
Hold tight.
Very soft. And
more World Cup. Mike Palm coming up next. I made a bet on another match. And also, is this a joke with Jim Hiller?
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
All right, great match going on right now. England on top of Croatia 3-2. They play 66th minute in Dallas. Harry Kane with 2 goals earlier already in this match. He's higher than 2-1 right now to get one more and complete the hat trick. You mentioned, watch out, next Monday, Australia. I said it again. Austria against Argentina. You think it's going to be wide open. You're going to bet alt overs in that one. Messi is plus 110 for a goal.
What is he to score 2 goals?
5-1.
I take it. He's going to have a lot of chances. That's just the way they play. You saw all the chances Jordan had last night.
Right.
They create chances and they give up chances. It's just like Carolina in hockey with that forecheck, right? They create a lot of chances, but they also give up the highest number of odd man rushes and the highest number of breakaways every year.
What do you think of this bet? I mentioned at end of the first hour, and Paulie and I talked about it as the games were progressing yesterday. So it's, I think, June 26th when they play. Norway is going to get France. They're in each other's group. Over 2.5 even money. With the star power on the pitch, Mbappe and Haaland.
So much talent.
Oh, they're insane.
Mbappe, he might be the 3rd best player on that team. Are you kidding me? I thought I thought he would press and try to do too much this year because he's slowly losing control of this team. There's just so many finishers on, and then you can't. This Holland is so hard. I don't think he's one-dimensional only in the box. I think he creates from midfield as well, but it's so tough to defend. He's so much bigger and stronger than everybody. Again, that's another total I think should be at least 3.
It's got to be like blocking Myles Garrett, Holland. Like, how do you defend the guy?
Well, you can't defend him. Did you see when Spain, I guess, who's resting everybody, finally brought in Yamal and Wade? They were triple teaming Yamin Lamal. That what a story that was. Yeah. By the way, I laid 3.5 goals in that game, so I look pretty good there. I quickly, by the 20-minute mark, though, after I bet under 2.5, I could see where this was going.
Sure.
I could land 3-0 and I lose both ways. But
are you guys crushing it with the draws?
No, we're crushing it with the totals.
Really?
But people bet under.
Plus 27 units just betting the draw.
Yeah, but people now are betting the draws. And it's going to have to happen again now, right? You had the 4 draws one day. Now everybody's going to bet the draws.
Well, you got the banger to start the day. That was a big one. What happened there? 6 minutes in, 1-0 Portugal.
Portugal's a disappointing international team for me in the last half a generation here. I think they've wasted a lot and should have taken Mourinho as their manager if they would have had the chance. He's a native Portuguese. You would have thought we would have got crushed here. Now, I said Thursday we had this incredible crowd for the opener with Mexico, and I said it won't be as big a crowd for USA. There was. On Friday night, there was an incredible, every seat in the book was filled. Everybody on their feet for the national anthem, everybody chanting USA, USA. I said, we're going to get crushed on this game, right? With the USA winning and winning, but no. We made out great because of all the underbets.
Did you really?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That's stunning.
It was one of our best results. And we got beat 6 figures to the USA, and it was still one of our best results. Because under first half, under game, we made a lot of money.
Well, the BTTS, how about that? 16-6 now.
It's not that popular a bet here, Paul.
Okay.
It's just not
a lot of times
popular.
it's plus money.
Yeah. For people that bet it year round, people take that, right? We look at all the options. But once again, you're looking at a crowd that, bets it a couple times a year, the sport.
So the sports book now for the middle of June on a Wednesday looks damn good. Derek said Stadium Swim, the great, amazing pool here, is sold out today. What is it like for the Mexico match tomorrow night against South Korea, and then Friday, that's going to be up in Seattle, but USA gets Australia at noon our time.
At noon, and we have a big parade. It's Bournemouth is sponsoring the celebration here, and we have former Bournemouth players here. Of course, Bill Foley owns both the Knights and Bournemouth, and we got a parade and all kinds of giveaways. It should be a great crowd on Friday. I'll be in Iowa, but they canceled all their meetings Friday afternoon, so they can be around watching the book in the book and stadium. And it's just, as much as I love the book, Stadium Swim atmosphere for these games is pretty special.
Phenomenal. Can't beat it.
True.
I think for this match, though, coming up, you're going to be, again, it's going to be crawling with people. The public will be betting everything, USA every which way but loose.
And well, Australia looked awfully good, didn't they?
That was surprising.
I was shocked by how good Australia looked. I had the other way. And I can't, it's just, isn't it just Turkey? Everybody has to say Turkey or whatever. I had Turkey in that game. I bet Turkey on the 3.
Very
they
popular.
had no shot.
Yes.
They had zero chance against the Aussies.
Now to do it again. That's a big ask, though.
I don't know. I hope it's a 3-2 game. I hope it's a wildly entertaining game.
Well, we were awesome.
I thought our guys offensively, so creative, so good with the first touch. I was blown away by that.
Yes.
Would you guys be looking for new jobs if they win the whole thing?
Oh, come on. Nobody's looking for new jobs. The Aces would have won on Monday. We might have had some dim lights, but
okay.
But no, we'll be okay.
Of all things,
we'll be okay here.
Yeah. All right.
Did you have a big say in the Game 5 NBA spread where you went with the 5 plus 5.5?
That was all
6?
Derek. I had no say in it.
Okay.
I was hoping it landed 5 just so he'd be wrong, but no. It landed 5 the other way.
Yes, right.
It's unbelievable.
Can we expect more of that?
Yes. He really wants to create action, and it created a ton of action. Now we would have lost I think $600K if it had landed 5, but we wrote a lot more because of it. So he's taking a chance. I love it. I love what he's doing there.
During a commercial break, I mentioned the total,
yeah,
and he seemed maybe to do something with the total too. That he said if he could do that,
well, we do some with the totals in soccer. That'll really create the action. Wow. 2 and 2.5.
Yes,
right.
Could you believe the first quarter number? 3.5 here.
Got to 3.5. And I told
Game was 5.
Jonathan Davis was here hanging out with me at Bark.
Yeah.
He said, I want to bet the game. What should I bet? I said, bet this first quarter now before this thing gets to 3. 3.5 it got.
Yeah.
It still won everything.
Yep.
I think first to 10 lost once in the last month, and the first quarter won everything. It's amazing.
It was.
Yeah. You're a big hockey guy as well. I know Derek was at the game on Sunday night. You went to game 4? You were at one of the games.
I've never been to a Stanley Cup final.
I thought you were. I thought you took a video.
They let me go to when Columbus is here on a Tuesday.
Oh, is that it? Okay.
They let me host the
When they're drunk at Andiamo.
Yeah, they're always here on the weekend.
What'd you make of that today? So now the Golden Knights are going to go with Ryan Craig.
Yeah, he should have went with him after game 3. If they'd have went with him after game 3, I'd have liked the move better. No, I mean, to me, the surprising thing is that Tortorella in every single interview said, no matter what, I'm going back to my grandkids. Kelly and I had a handshake. It's over in June. Now he's lamenting. Oh, I really wanted to coach the team. Well, then don't get the team fined and lose a draft pick.
Yeah,
right?
How about that?
Don't tell people. You know who asked that question? It was Johnny Lazarus.
Johnny Lazarus did.
Did you know that?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It was. I didn't know till after the fact. The Carter Hart, dumbest question he's ever, stupidest question he's ever heard. It was Johnny Lazarus.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
What will it take?
Stormy
for him to
defended it. Stormy defended it.
No, I didn't have a problem with it.
She said, he was just deflecting attention from Hart. It's hard to deflect attention from gang rapists. But anyhow.
Yeah.
I typed the name Jim Hiller into YouTube today.
Did you stop? Did it give his challenge?
No, it didn't. It was Maple Leafs fans losing their minds over the hire.
Mitch, I woke up. I was getting ready for work. And Alberger or somebody tweeted it. And I'm like, this is just a spoof now. We're spoofing. I would not have taken, if it was out there, next Toronto Maple Leafs head coach was up for 500 to 1, I would have said it's missing 2 zeros. How could Jim Hiller be a head coach ever again? Let alone a franchise like Toronto. But I guess when you hire a con man as your GM, anything can happen.
Sure.
Hiller, it's the worst challenge in the history of sports, and I don't know how you ever get one worse.
That's
ever.
Fair. That's fair.
Explain what happened.
Couldn't get out of the first. He challenged a goal in the Edmonton, a goal that tied the game. They had already looked at it. They had already looked at it about the puck going in, right? So the replay officials had looked at this for 5 minutes, and when it was done, he used a challenge to say there was interference. They'd already sat there in Toronto looking at it. And, of course, Edmonton was 90% on the power play in the last 2 games. Then, boom, they score right off the bat, and the series is over.
Yeah, they had a 2-0 series lead when he decided to make that challenge.
Hiller it was just unconscionable that he would give that, totally giving that game away. There was like 4 minutes left in the game. It's the dumbest challenge ever. And a guy who's never gotten out of the first round of the playoffs.
Oh.
I guess that's a big improvement on Berube. I don't know.
Very strong. Do you like anything tonight in Major League Baseball?
I don't. Is our guy ever going to come back after he got hit in the head with 107? Lugo.
You took some pretty bad beats on him recently.
Yeah, the rain
delay, and then he takes
then he takes one off the dome. I mean, this is tough. Did they just come back from the hydration break? There'll probably be a goal here in the next 10.
Yeah.
In the next 10 minutes.
3-2 was 33 to 1 here. If it holds up, 15 minutes left.
Incredible.
Can you imagine if England can't win this thing? They're going to score 3 goals.
Pretty big blow to them if they walk away with this with a draw.
Yes. 3-2, 75th minute. You're right. All the chances they had. This could be 5-2.
There was that stretch there where it was like one right after another.
Yeah. How about the mistake from the keeper in the Norway game? Kicking it right. Haaland's second goal. Kicks it right into him.
First of all, he didn't come. You could see Haaland was closing. You have to run up and kick it out of bounds. He sat there and drew back and then just knocked it right into Haaland, into the goal. Right after they had scored to tie it.
That was a high school mistake. Oh, have you noticed? I brought this up yesterday.
Link Sparks over 177.
Yes, that's a good one.
Tonight.
Yes. That's a good one. Have you noticed why a lot of these teams, either to begin the match or the second half, they are electing to kick it as far as they can out of bounds? Have you noticed that? Is there any rhyme or reason?
Why? Have you noticed all the teams that lost possession because they wouldn't throw it in when the referee was asking them? They're just quickly giving it to the other team.
They are.
And they almost scored on it in that Jordan game last night.
It happened earlier in this match here.
It happened with Austria. He gave it and Jordan took it, inbounded it right away and had a break.
I love that you're so fired up about this tournament. It's great.
It is. It's pretty good. It's pretty good sentiment here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Great to see you, Mike. Thank you. Best of luck tonight. Duck Azaria next. He told me a team might score 110 against their opponent tonight in the WNBA. Find out which one that is next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We're live in Vegas. Circa Resort and Casino is a spot. 81st minute right now in Dallas. England 3, Croatia 2. Great match. Harry Kane with 2 goals in this match already. And right now we go out to the Progressive Guest Line. Longtime friend of the show and the network, Doug Kazarian on the program. DougKazarian.com also does a great job with The Athletic. DK, good to see you, my man. How are you today?
Good to be with you. Who said June is slow after the NBA and NHL wind down? It's stacked action these days.
I mean, I think it's probably the best and the busiest June since we've been adults in the sports world.
Right.
Been this good. Okay, so you and I talk WNBA off the air, I think pretty much every single day. You love the sport again. You bet it. And you've been really good here on it for a couple of years, and you're on a good stretch right now as well. You told me earlier this week, and you were looking ahead to tonight's card. You're like, yeah, I think there's a team that's going to score 110 against their opponent. I'm like, okay, you got my attention. Who is it? Tell the audience.
I think it's what Mike Palm just mentioned, that Sparks Lynx game, right? Minnesota Lynx are a great regular season team. They have the best coach in Cheryl Reeve, and they're playing without Nafisa Collier, but they've just been an absolute wagon. Everybody can shoot. They all fit the system well. Olivia Miles has been insanely good to start her career as a rookie, and this Sparks team is wretched. Now, I do think they'll have a decent to solid effort coming off a blowout loss the other night, but Kelsey Plum's questionable, so I'm a little unsure of the spread and everything, but the Lynx should just bury them. So I'm going to lay the points, but I really like the team totals. I prefer the first quarter and the first half just because if it's an absolute blowout, who knows what garbage time is like. But, I mean, they can name their score. They've just been so smooth, so effective offensively. And I think the Sparks will bring it out of them. Now, on Monday, they were coming off a loss and buried the Portland Fire. They're not off a loss here, but I still think they're going to just carve up this Sparks defense. Now, LA's ceiling is really good. Like, they beat Vegas in Vegas. And that's when the Aces played really well. Kelsey Plum had a fantastic game. She had near 40 points, 6 of 7 from downtown with 9 assists. And sometimes LA's ceiling, that's why I rather do the team total. So I'll start with the first quarter, first half for the Lynx here, just because I think the Sparks have been chirping about defense. They need to get better. They've been saying that for 2 years. It's just not happening overnight. Yeah,
that's true. And they're very inconsistent as well. How about a unique way you're attacking this Mystics Sun match? And this is wild how you're doing this, but the Sun only 2-13 on the season. What do you think?
All right, so I'm taking the points with the Sun. Starts with that, right?
Yep.
On the game line, because the Mystics have their 2 key forwards are questionable. Kiki Irfin, who's missed the last couple games, and then Shakira Austin, who just showed up on the injury report yesterday. So we'll see it come, tip-off approaches about an hour and change now. But the Sun are so close to a win. They've covered a bunch of games in a row. They're right there. The number's not big enough that I think I'd rather take them plus 11.5. And that's what the lines have been lately. And they cover because they've been, competing against these much better teams. But Brittany Griner's healthy and playing, although she's not very good. So I don't really care if she's in the lineup, but they got Layla Lacan, their star point guard, who just finished her overseas obligations. She's a young French guard. And they're just playing better. They're deep enough. They're actually pretty decent at times, even though their record's, I think, 3-14 or something like that. And the Mystics are nothing special. They really aren't. So I'm going to bet the Sun every quarter. You can bet it's not first quarter, first half. It's first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. And you can just take them on the money line or the spread. And I just think they're going to play incredibly hard. They're not going to get blown out. There's always a chance, but I just think there's a chance they win by margin. So even if they win the first quarter by like 3 points, I would take them second quarter money line. I just think you're going to win 3 out of 4 if you do it that way. Both teams have a subpar coach, so there's no coaching edge in that one. Now, there's a chance the Mystics size, whether Irfin and Austin play, and then also the Lauren Betts at UCLA, but the Connecticut's just playing so hard. They want a win. They're desperate for one, and I think they get it tonight.
Goal by England, 85th minute. Makes it 4-2. It was not Harry Kane. So 6 goals now. Croatia had a couple of chances a few moments ago, could not get one past, and now they trail by 2 goals. There you go. Doug Kazarian, our guest on the Progressive Guest Line, DougKazarian.com and The Athletic. You want to do something similar here with the Valkyries tonight against Dallas, as you are with the Lynx team total here with Golden State. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, there's 4 late games here, right?
Yeah.
And I should mention the Lynx have Commissioner's Cup sort of things on the line there, just because if the Aces win, they're going to the Commissioner Cup championship game. If they lose, the Lynx need to win to advance. Now, the Wings have a chance, and they're in this game. I just think this is going to be a really good game. And I don't know how good each of these two teams are. You know, if you guys remember, beginning of the season, these were my two teams I liked around minus 120 or so to make the playoffs and over their season win total. And they've been the teams that have sort of surpassing expectations, at least to start the year. The Wings don't play good defense, but they have higher ceiling on offense. The Valkyries have this unique offense. They go 5 out. I don't know what to make of this. I just think we're going to see points because I don't think the Wings defense is very good. I'll take the Valkyries team total first quarter, first half over. Valkyries have gone over their total combined about 60, 65% of their games in terms of the team total. I don't know why their totals for the games are always lined so low. I know they have a good defensive rating and they have a good home court advantage, but I think the Wings with Paige Beckers in the lineup, they've been really potent. Shepard's been great. Azzi Fudd's now starting. I like the team total because the Wings with Arike Gumbawale is a gunner. She's terrible sort of PER and all the efficiency. So I just don't like betting on them that much in terms of ATS. I don't like betting against them either because she can go off. She's a former All-Star. So that's why I like to isolate the Valkyries team total in the first quarter, first half. They're an excellent first half team ATS. Maybe it's coaching. Maybe it's just the shock to the system of having to defend them and play against them. They go a little streaky. Sometimes they go cold from downtown, but I think the Wings defense is so bad that they'll get some buckets and they'll attack. And they're at home, which it's a really good atmosphere out there. So I do like the Valkyries over their first quarter and first half team total.
It was a nice plus price. Rashford had the goal for England to put them up 4-2. Can you give me a hot take on what can transpire Tuesday in the NBA draft?
I don't think anything's off the table in terms of all these picks. I'm not saying we see a revisit of Banchero and coming off the grid to go 1, but I've been saying this since day one. If a team wants Darren Peterson, they'll draft him 1. I don't think anything that happened in the regular season will deter a team if they think he's the best talent. Now, I'm not saying he is, and I'm not saying the Wizards do either, but I've always kind of just said time heals all these wounds. I've always laughed. If they think he's got an issue or whatnot, like they don't care. They're going to take because they don't want to get fired. If there's a more talent now, maybe that's foolish for the franchise. But I've always said they'll always talk their way out of some of the nonsense that went down in this case with Kansas. And, Bill Self was so frustrated at times about what to expect from Peterson. But if they think he's the best player in the draft, they will draft him. Now, we don't know. Everyone's tight-lipped, things like that. But this is not a foregone conclusion. Now, Debanza may be the best player in the draft, and they may think he is, and then it's great. They'll draft him number 1. But I never believe that these teams are going to shy away because whether they question his work ethic, and they just always side with the most talented guy.
Yeah, I think there's an angle where Peterson could go number 1, or he could slide to 3, or maybe even a little bit beyond that as well. Last thing here for you, we had fireworks today in Omaha. North Carolina defeated West Virginia 12-7. You did bet that game over. It went flying over. You're betting Oklahoma and Georgia over that same number tonight. Why is that?
Yeah, so it's a lot of this is wind. Now I'm going to read a text here. So yesterday it was all about the under, and there was some wind from right field in, but that was more all the aces could go in that game, and we had a 2-0 final, even though the total was like 11.5, but it got bet down from 13.5. These two totals today, the one earlier and then the one coming up, have been bet up, and there's weather certainly pushing everything out. Now the weather's calmed down. We're looking at sustained winds between 15 and 20 miles per hour. Now the ballpark itself lends itself to the under because it's spacious, but these lineups for Oklahoma and Georgia, bigger bats than we had earlier, especially Oklahoma. And Georgia needs to win both games. So I don't think Oklahoma is going to use their best pitchers, especially in the pen, because they always have one more game to fall back on. Now, of course, a lot depends on how this game unfolds throughout, but 15 feels like a ridiculous number. But don't forget aluminum bats for those who haven't been watching college, postseason. But just in general, like these guys can rake, and then the wind is certainly, and then it messes with the pitchers' heads. I mean, even the first inning I was watching earlier today, they're a lot in the dirt in the first inning. Now, I worry about the ump maybe widening the zone a little bit, or we'll be here all night. But I think 15 is going to feel like a low number in a couple innings.
All right, there you go. DougKazarian.com is the website, on X as well at Doug Kazarian, The Athletic. And this is very exciting, hosting shows here on VSiN beginning this weekend. Is that correct?
This weekend, yeah.
That's dynamite,
With Matt
man.
Brown.
Very cool.
All right.
It's going to be great. Thanks, pal. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
There you go. DK joined us on the Progressive guest line. Back to the World Cup coming up next. Dalen Cuff on the program. A couple of angles here. U.S. and Mexico playing tomorrow and Friday. His thoughts on both of those matches with betting angles next here on VSiN.